we'll see what happens. But anyways, now let's kind of transition from talking about the Aquis to talking about mid-level watches. And I'm gonna say a mid-level watch costs anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. It's a fairly wide range, and I know it sounds a little callous. Like, I know there are viewers that go, Bruce, there's no way in heck I'm spending $2,000 or $3,000 on a watch. That's unobtainable for me. I live at the $300 price segment. And here you are saying it's a mid-level watch. Like, who the crap are you, Bruce Williams? Like, I get that. Price is very relative. I have other viewers, their beater watch is a $10,000 Submariner, and they're usually wearing nothing else but precious metal or high horology or grand complications. Like, price is very relative. So please bear with me here. I'm just trying to be descriptive. I would classify an affordable watch as anywhere from, $100 to $1,000. Obviously, the $1,000 is still quite a bit of money to spend, but I'd say that's the affordable range. Mid-level is $1,000 to $3,000. And then I would say $3,000 to $5,000 is entry-level luxury. So technically this Aquis is an entry-level luxury piece because it retails at $3,500. You can get a discount. I got a discount directly from Oris. Most authorized dealers will give you a nice discount, and that's the nice thing about Oris. And most of the Aquis models are around $2,000. So technically, I'm going to say an Aquis is a mid-level watch. But yeah, entry-level luxury I'd say is up to $5,000. And then from $5,000, maybe this is where it gets a little bit muddy, but maybe $5,000 to $20,000 I would consider luxury. And anything 20 and above, I consider that hyper luxury or high horology. That's kind of how I operate here, and trying to be descriptive and make groupings of tiers. So why are mid-level watches awesome? You look at the prices. You're looking at nicer Seikos. You're looking at Manta. You're looking at Zinn. You're looking at Zodiac. I've really been enjoying this Seawolf GMT, and I've got another one inbound too that we will be filming. I really like Ball. I really like Oris, obviously. There's some really great Longines in that price. There's some really pretty impressive stuff. And sometimes it's an in-house movement. A lot of times it's an original design, or it's an homage to a very lovely design from a brand's storied history, kind of like Zodiac or many Longines models at the moment. So there's quite a lot to love at the mid-level. And here's the thing. This is just my experience. You can disagree with me, but maybe you'll agree here. I found that you get a big jump when you're wearing a $500 watch, which I've worn a ton of affordable watches. Most of my time in the hobby has been spent at the affordable side of things. If you go from a $500 watch to a $5,000 watch, that's quite a jump. You really notice the difference in detail work, in fit and finish, solidarity of bracelets, details in the dial. You really notice the change. You obviously are probably going from affordable movements. Some of them are in-house if it's a Seiko, but most of them are third party. And then you go up to a 5,000. Most times it's an in-house movement, or it's a highly modified, regulated and decorated ETA or something like that. You really notice the change. That's quite a jump, and it's apparent. But you go from, say, 5,000 to 15,000 or 20 in the case of my overseas. And I will say, yes, there is a noticeable difference. There's a jump. There are obviously small things that are done better on those higher priced watches, no doubt. I'm not trying to be woke or controversial here, or trying to get clickbait stuff. Not at all. But I would say the difference in overall feel, and especially the amount of enjoyment you can get from wearing these watches, there's not a huge difference between a $5,000 Omega and a $15,000 Blancpain, or another brand that's right around that segment. Now, obviously, again, there's differences, but those differences are so small. It kind of comes down to how much value you place in those very small, very minute, minuscule differences. So I think 5,000 is really where you start noticing, hey, this is a really nice watch. But that being said, mid-level, you're not spending an arm and a leg to buy a $5,000 Omega or Tudor or Breitling or Zenith or, you know, Grand Seiko, but you're still getting a heck of a watch like this Aquis, or with a Zin, or with some Grand Seiko quartz models, or a pre-owned Omega. Like, you can get some really good stuff in that $1,000 to $3,000 price segment. It's so satisfying, and there are generally very few things to nitpick with the, you know, kind of like with this Oris Aquis 400 that I'm highlighting today and talking about. So those are some of the reasons why I really like the mid-level. And it's not hard to go from wearing an overseas most days, or a Hulk, like I've got my Hulk right over here, or what else do we got here? We got the Cartier here. I need to go to the bank here pretty soon. We've got the Seamaster, right? It's easy to go from one of these watches, one of these, you know, luxury watches, and, you know, to put on an Oris, or to put on the Zodiac, or to put on a Zin, or a Damasco, or a Manta, or a number of great brands, Ball watches, you know, Frederic Constant. It's not hard to do, because you're still getting really great stuff. And I'm not, please don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say, hey, if you go from wearing an overseas and you got to go buy a Swatch or a Hamilton or a Seiko Turtle, like, yeah, now I'm slumming it, I'm a peasant. No, I'm not trying to say that at all, not at all. But, you know, I'm talking about those little differences. They're not as noticeable. So I think the mid-level, there's a lot of great stuff, and I'd like to feature more affordable watches, mid-level watches, and entry-level watches. Like, I love it all. I like high horology or hyper horology. I like luxury quite a bit. I like it all, guys. So we're going to try to be more balanced. I think I've been skewing a little bit more on the luxury side of things in the past year, but maybe you have a watch you can lend in, or again, I have contacts with various jewelers and dealers, so I'd love to get some really great affordable stuff in, mid-level stuff in, to review and kind of talk about why they're so good, you know, why they make good purchases, how satisfying they can really be. So I'd like to do that. That's a personal goal this year in 2021. Please keep my feet to the fire and hold me to that. You know, hold me to that. Put some pressure on me, guys. Thanks for watching today. I think I've rambled on long enough. Man, 16 minutes. If you're still here, you're a superstar. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. That helps me out with the algorithms. If you want to leave a comment, I enjoy reading all of the comments. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not, please consider subscribing. Again, when we hit 100,000, I want to do a killer giveaway. That'll enter you into that giveaway. So appreciate the support. Let me know what you think about what I've talked about today. What are your favorite mid-level watches? What do you think of the Aquis? What do you think about the jump from 500 to 5,000 and 5,000 to 15,000? And where do you feel mid-level kind of fits in there at the $1,000 to $3,000 range? I'm interested. Thanks again, guys. See you in the next video.